We haven't done one of these in, I guess, a couple of months. And so I think I hear you, Omar. That was me. No doubt, brother. We haven't done one of these in a couple of months, but this is our collector spotlight. And we've got a collector with us tonight that's fairly new to the group. I'd say probably within the last 6 months or so. That's about right, I think. This is Bill Espy, Dr. Bill Espy, as some in some circles call him, or the Reverend Dr. Bill Espy. Just a little background on Bill. He and I have been friends for a long time. In fact, when I was a wee lad, when I was a teenager, he was my youth minister in my church, and really just was influential in my life. Actually officiated at my wedding. That's right. And that wedding has stuck. So he did a good job. So my bride, hopefully she doesn't hear that come running down here. But we spent a lot of time together. I have to say, probably some of my first toy runs were with Bill. I mean, a toy run. I guess we need to unpack that. When does going to Walmart or Target or something actually become a toy run? Does it happen when you're an adult, or can it happen when you're a kid? Because when you're a kid, you're just going to get stuff. But when you're an adult, it's called a toy run.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair. So my first toy run was with Bill, probably searching for those Total Justice
yeah
figures. You remember those, dude? So
the JLA.
Yes, the JLA. So some of the fun. Oh, I gotcha. He's downstairs with Jaime. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll let him hang out with Jaime. So, all right. But yes, so Bill's going to be hanging out with us tonight. We're going to see what makes him tick as a collector. Kind of told you a little bit of the background story. Bill and I have known each other for a while. He is, as you've probably learned from being in the group the last few months or so, he's a big time Star Wars fan. And you see a little bit of that behind him. I'm sure he'll get into that a little bit tonight. But, he was one of the major players in some of these big what's the word I'm looking for? Nonprofit deals that we've been doing, and some of the sprinkle boxes that some of the guys have done in some of the sales. Bill was a part of those, and I know he not only gave towards that, but then used some of those toys to give on to other little kiddos and stuff like that. So I'm sure he'll speak to that a little bit as well. But we got a lot to cover. We got a lot of fun, and welcome to the Cantina tonight for the Collector Spotlight. So. Well, Bill, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. I know you've got a busy schedule, but you could do it. So let's start, man, with let's take us back, all the way back, let's say to little Bill Espy's, let's say, 6-year-old toy box. What are we going to find in that toy box? Where did it all begin for you as far as collecting toys and things like that?
6-year-old toy box is going to have lots of Matchbox and Hot Wheels in it.
Okay, all right.
Really my first collecting thing, and I got that gene from my dad. My dad collected Matchbox. He didn't care for the Hot Wheels as much unless it was a red line, Oh, yeah. But I like both of them, and man, I just there were ones that he had that I never understood as a kid why we couldn't open those, But that's what started me off, and until I turned 9, and I was 9 in May of 1977.
Did something happen there? I don't,
yeah, just a little bit, but and I'll say this about my dad. He took me to 2 movies in my life. One was Star Wars.
Okay.
And one was Superman the movie.
Oh, 2 great movies.
Yeah. And he didn't really care for movies. That wasn't his thing, but he knew that was important to me. And that's a memory I'll always have doing that with him, because like I said, he really got me started on this toy thing, and I still haven't been able to shake it.
I'm sure your wife thinks the same. She's like, thanks a lot.
Hoping she doesn't stick her head in here. And
oh yeah,
I wish you stay over that.
You do something. Oh man. Well, those that are joining us here on Facebook, as we're working through this tonight with Bill, just kind of getting to know him, feel free to put some questions there in the feed, and we'll respond to those. That'll kind of help us go through some things. Let's see. Dan's commenting. Toy runs began in 1996 when they released the Star Wars Power of the Force 2. And any toy run to be official had to occur after 9 p.m. You were headed straight for the pallets. That's for sure, dude. For sure.
That was Louisville, Kentucky for me and you.
Oh, that's right. Oh, man.
Walmart or the Meijer or wherever we could find toys.
Then we
do you remember telling store clerks, hey, I'll unbox that for you and I'll put them on the bags?
Yes, I'll help you. I'll help you do your job. And then we always in the toy run with, I think, a late night trip to McDonald's.
Yeah, or White Castle.
That's probably why I have a heart condition. That's a different story for a different show. So Hot Wheels is where it started, and then once Star Wars hit the scene, your focus kind of shifted towards the
oh man, it did. I remember just getting so many different things for birthdays, for Christmas. I can remember the Sears carrying Star Wars because my dad would go to Sears. He'd be looking for a tool and I'd get to go with him. And most of the time he'd say, pick out a figure, or whatever. In fact, I remember one time he had found a broken screwdriver in the middle of the road, took it to get, because it was a Craftsman, took it to get it replaced. And that's where he bought me the Cantina set that had the blue snaggletooth in it.
Oh,
yeah. It was just, I remember so many different things like that. And of course, my sister's 2 years younger than me. She never owned a Barbie doll. She always wanted Star Wars figures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The other, and I was just thinking about this. The other thing I did have, the only Star Trek toys I ever had, I had some Star Trek. They were dolls, I guess we call them collectors. But I had some of those guys.
Larger action figures.
Yes. But once Star Wars came out, that really became my focus. Oh my goodness. And had them. One of the things that was really cool about my dad, there was a little boy in our church who had muscular dystrophy. And my dad had collected Matchbox his whole life. And I think the first year they made them, there was like 11 or 12 of them. And I remember my dad giving Brian, that was this boy's name, one of those Matchbox cars. And that just struck a nerve with me. And so I remember there was a kid that I went to church with. He was several years younger than me. But when he first got old enough, man, he wanted Star Wars stuff. He wanted that. And so I remember giving him ships and figures and
wow.
Oh my goodness. It was just one of those things that there was a joy in doing that. And that has really come through my whole life because, I think about some of the things that I've done. There's a guy at our church right now who loves Star Wars and he really loves Darth Vader. I had the CinemaCast Vader statue,
okay.
When he's coming down the stairs. In fact, in the special edition DVD, it's behind George Lucas.
Okay.
I gave that to this guy for Christmas a couple years ago because it's what he wanted. I had the animated Boba Fett statue.
Oh,
I gave that to Josh Duggan because you know how much he loves Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And what's great,
I'm gonna send you a list of the things I like real quick.
Okay, absolutely. The first figures I bought off the Cantina from you, I bought them for a little kid that he and I had been to see Marvel movies together because his dad is a friend of mine at church, and this little kid loves superhero stuff. So I've gone to see all the superhero movies with him. So when I bought those, I didn't buy them for me. I bought them because I was going to give them to Abram. So that's something I learned from my dad. And, I think about some things that I wish I had back. Like I've given away 3 of the lightsabers, the Black Series.
Oh yeah. Those are nice.
One, and I've given them to kids, but what's really cool is I remember giving this one kid one of the Obi-Wan Kenobi Toys R Us Jedi Starfighters.
Okay.
That was the exclusive one. And because he wanted that one. And several years down the road, his parents had a garage sale and I bought it back. And so I said, this thing is twice mine.
It's twice mine.
Yeah.
So
it's been really cool because I feel like I learned that from my dad. And like I said, I've given away a bunch of stuff, and it's always ended up being a blessing for me to, be able to do that and see, hey, it's going to help somebody else too.
Yeah, learning the collecting aspect from your dad, but then too
Yeah.
the joy of giving away
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, because the hunt, man, it's all, and when you find it, you're going, holy cow, man! I finally got that one I'm looking for.
And then the next day, you're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, exactly. It's never over.
But there is something special about that one thing that you've been hunting, and you finally find it. Yeah, you're relishing it. You're putting it on the shelf, but then there's somebody that needs it, or a kid that, hey man, can I play with that? And you're like, there's part of you who's like, yeah, you can, and just pass that along. Whether it's, somebody in your church or somebody, or maybe it's your even kid. It's like, hey, can I open that, Dad? And I'm like, it is a toy. Yeah, go ahead. Now, if it's, one of the original 12 of the Star Wars that's on a card back, sorry, kid, you're just going to find something else. Here's those retro figures. Play with them.
Yeah.
So thinking about your first, I guess, Star Wars fix. First off, I think it's really cool that your Cantina set all came from a broken screwdriver. That's how the story came from.
That's how that came. And I had no idea then that the blue snaggletooth would be what a blue snaggletooth is. And I ended up trading that to Matt Reckwitt because he needed it.
Yeah,
it was few figures he didn't have, and I knew I had it, and he needs that to make his collection complete. And so I thought there'll be another blue snaggletooth come by. Of course, it hadn't yet, but who knows?
Yeah, the Matt Reckwitt that Bill's alluding to is a buddy of ours. That when Bill was, I guess, were you done with? I guess you were done with your PhD at the time when I was up there, or you finishing up?
I didn't actually finish my PhD until May of 2005.
Okay,
so right. I might have been between master's and PhD.
Okay, well, either way,
remember what years you were coming up there?
Yeah, I think I graduated with my master's in I want to say 04 or 05.
Okay. So I might have been doing just dissertation, and not any more coursework. Is probably what was going on that year.
Yeah, but I would go up there and stay hard of the week, and there would be nights we'd go over to Matt's house, and he was a bachelor. So his whole house was like dioramas. It was awesome. It was so crazy. But you're right, it was awesome. You'd sit on the couch with something to drink and look, oh, there's a carbon freezing over there. Oh, yeah. Here's Jabba's playhouse. So it was so awesome. But you're right, man. He had it all. So yeah, there's his remote controlled R2D2. Hey R2. Hey R2, do you remember? We had so much fun with that thing. So as you think about those early figures, how many of those do you still have left? Do you still have some of your original stuff? I have very few of them. And the ones that I have that I didn't trade or give away or whatever. In fact, that Jawa playset is the reason it doesn't have the cardboard. Where all my toys were stored at my dad's house in Memphis, they had a branch fall on the roof of their storage room, and then squirrels got into it and ruined. Oh. And you think about toys. There was a squirrel nest in my Evel Knievel scramble van. No. It was awful. Because I thought about that too. But all the cardboard things, the cardboard things out of the Death Star, the boxes, all that stuff was just trashed. And so I just kept the figures, which my very first figure that my dad gave me was a hammerhead and a stormtrooper. Nice. Anyway, so I had them in my office in the Church of Kentucky. Of course, the church burned down. Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. They are in a Ziploc bag, just like my ordination Bible. And when you open it, you smell fire. I mean, they're charred. They didn't melt, but you can't do anything with them except keep them sealed up. Oh. And so, it's crazy. Of course, a lot of them, Clay played with some of my original ones as well. I use them on my Christmas tree. There you go. Yeah. Because I still have my vintage
Imperial Shuttle, my vintage AT-AT Walker.
Nice.
I've got some of the bigger things like that. A lot of the figures. I guess if I could, and one of the reasons I was wanting to get the Black Series first 11, because I'd like to get a complete set of those again. I love the way you've displayed them in the baseball bag.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Black Series. I like a few of them. I like the Bad Batch ones because Clay and I watch those.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have that first 11 set of the Black Series. And I think I've still got to get the Tusken Raider and a Stormtrooper.
Okay.
There's just 2 or 3 left that I got to get on that. But yeah, I've got a few of them. I've got all the Max Rebo band of the. I've got those. Again,
you have their microphones.
No.
Oh.
No.
That's okay. That's all right. Full disclosure, I only have one microphone. So
yeah.
I have all the instruments, but only one microphone. So
yeah.
But yes. Oh man.
I've got the Power of the Force collection of them.
Oh, that's a nice set too.
Yeah, and those are nice. I've got all that, and I've got those complete.
All right, we got a couple of comments here. Let me check in on
okay.
Them. We got Lawrence over there. Says, I remember when I was young and my mom would get me a bunch of Star Wars figures for Christmas and other times. Of course, being young at the time, I would open the packaging. I do remember having the Death Star playset, Tauntaun, the Rancor, but didn't get the ships. I consider myself a limited collector, not wanting every single thing for every single title. I just get certain figures I like. Yeah, I think, that's the neat thing about collecting, and maybe that's a question to ask you, and you've kind of already alluded to it. You've got guys out there that are completists, okay? Yeah. I've got to finish this line. You've got those people that are those select, okay? Yeah, I really, like you're saying about the first 12. I want to get those first 12 to kind of match in the Black Series. Have you ever slipped into a completist mentality ever in your collecting days?
When the Clone Wars figures first came out, they had those with the first day of issue. You remember those?
Yeah, it had the little decal on the outside.
And it looked like the Captain Rex helmet.
Yes.
And because Clay was into it, we got all the figures to open, but I do have a complete wave of those. In fact, it's one of those stories where I ended up at a store and I've got the case from Hasbro too.
Oh, nice.
And so there's still that's there are waves where I guess, if you could call me a completist, there were just always things that I guess struck me, the Jawa, the Sandcrawler, the things on Tatooine, that I guess that first scene in that movie. Now that they've got and somebody posted in the Cantina today, I want to get that Tanev hallway. I'd like to. I think I want to start seeing some of you guys dioramas. It really is making me think, man, I could really do a cool job with that.
Oh, you could, man. As creative as you are, there's no doubt you could. So, and speaking of the creative aspect, I know we're bouncing a little bit. I know, and we were talking about before we kind of started recording and when it going live. I know back in those days where I'd come hang out with you, and when I was working on my masters and stuff, you were all the time, man, taking those Unleashed figures, that came out, and you were like taking them apart and like putting them back together and all these crazy combinations. But I mean, they were making them figures. Like I think you made for me, as we said, an Yoda attacking a clone trooper, and the saber was going through the clone trooper.
Yeah,
it was an Obi-Wan and clone armor, and you made that from other Unleashed figures. Yeah, so are you still doing that kind of stuff, or what's?
As I was looking through things, the Unleashed series, I'm a completist on that. I have that whole set open. In fact, in the garage, I've got a poster, and I don't remember where I got it. Somebody gave it to me, but it's a poster, and it's got the card art of all the Unleashed figures on it. And it's just a really cool poster. And so I've got all the Unleashed figures. They were in my house in Louisville on that shelf in that little TV room.
Yeah.
But as I was going through a couple of things this week, Clay and he's doing HVAC. So he wanted to go upstairs and look at our HVAC.
Yeah, check it out. What do you got going on over there, Dad?
So we got into looking at some of his stuff, and I've actually got the Unleashed set too, still in the boxes. And so, yeah, I've not made any more customs. Probably I made those for you. I made a couple other people, but I hadn't been that creative since then, I guess.
Oh, you're
But
creative in other
I do
ways.
love that Unleashed series for sure.
Yeah, those were neat. And I think towards the end, they shifted down towards the smaller figures, and then they finally
Yeah,
went away. And then
yeah.
I guess, yeah,
I don't think I ever got any of those smaller ones.
yeah, I got
My
some
dad,
for my boys.
my dad would come back from the carports and he have those micro machines and all the little ones. And
Oh yeah,
the coolest thing about those for me was the way the cases were put together. And so
yeah,
I think I've got an R2 and a Death Star,
yeah.
but I wouldn't know a micro machine if you hit me in the head with it. I'm just
And you barely feel it anyway because they're so small.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as you think about your Star Wars collection, because there's some other things I want to pursue, because I remember you collecting other things back in the day too, and we'll get to those.
Okay.
Think about your Star Wars collection from past, present, and even now. Is there a certain piece where you like, this is my piece? This is, when I look at it, it's my favorite piece of the collection, I guess you could say.
As far as action figures go, I've got two that are really special to me. One is this one.
Yeah.
That's from Celebration 2.
All right.
And again, Matt and I were there because it was in Indianapolis. And man, I remember they had a huge figure stand just like this that you could get in. And so I've got a picture of Matt as a Jedi, and then there's a picture of me as a Jedi. Of course, they were actually on a camera. We didn't have phones with cameras back then. But
did you guys cosplay, as they call it now?
No, we never did that. We had talked about it. Matt could have, because I think he had a Jedi robe, and I guess I would have gone as the Rancor keeper. I don't know, but I'm just, we never did that. We just went, and then of course the one from Celebration 3.
Oh yeah,
those are two of, and just. I know they're not worth a lot of money, but the memories of being up there with Matt, and I think I've mentioned on here a couple times, to get to see the Yoda lightsaber scene with 5,000 Star Wars fans. Carrie Fisher was at Celebration 2.
Nice.
Kenny Baker and George Lucas showed up at. They weren't slated to be there, but Kenny Baker and David Prowse did a thing. And then George Lucas showed up the Saturday of Celebration 3. And it's just really, it's an experience that, I'll never forget. So those things. And then I, like I said, I've got my Hammerhead and some of my original vintage figures that mean something. And then the things that are upstairs that are clays, because it meant something to him. And he talked about, I told him I was doing this, and he said, I can remember me and you going and looking for that and not finding it. And when we found that clone pilot with the turret, that was his favorite. He said, and it was my favorite figure because it took us forever to find it. And when we did, of course, we put it on that Republic gunship, and that was his favorite toy. But anyway, of course, we did his room in Star Wars. He went when we went to Disney World the last time. He was a little kid. Yeah, he did the Jedi training, and I'm telling you, I was living it through him. Man, I was up there fighting Vader with him, and he was just he was the best one. I'm telling you.
I'm sure this is because the Force runs strong in your family.
Oh yeah, and so we had just a great time, and had his room all done up, and had a custom land speeder bed that me and a guy built for him.
Oh wow! You gotta have photos of that somewhere. I'd love to see that.
Oh yeah, it is. There are photos of it. I mean, just of course, Matt gave me the R2D2 garbage can that was in there, and it just. And that's the thing. The collection wasn't just stuff that he and I did. It's what we had put together, and he liked the Lego stuff. I could never get into the Star Wars Legos. I guess my ADHD, it just didn't work. But he had some, but I never got into that.
But I'm with you though. I think, of course, those pieces that are tied to those memories obviously last longer. They mean more to you, whether it was the celebration stuff with Matt, or those memories that you and Clay made. Hunting stuff, doing his room, all that. I think about that with my boys, the different stuff we've been hunting, whether it be this or that. And then, our big, and I think I mentioned it as well here in the Cantina, tradition for us for years was, because they always got Star Wars at Christmas, but was Christmas night. We stayed up as late as we could get, and we were playing Star Wars.
Yeah.
Those are things, that memories I always have with my boys. So
Yeah.
just those special things like that, I
Yeah.
think,
And
help enhance a collection.
it really does. And it tickles me to death to, and he's not into it anymore. He moved on to game systems and all that. And I really wanted him to, I guess, be a nerd like me, but he's, when we did that and he saw some of those things, I could see the light in his eyes too, and thinking about the memories that we had shared. So that's always special.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, you getting ready for this kind of had that opportunity
Yeah.
to think through some of those
things. Another piece that's really cool, because if people know me, they know I'm a man of few interests, but there's a guy at our church who works for Toyota Bodine.
Okay.
And he's an engineer, and he has to go over to Japan a bunch. Well, the last time he went over there, he brought me back this Star Wars teacup.
Dude, that's cool.
And I've got a pair of Darth Vader chopsticks as well. But that sits in my office at church, and a lot of times it'll end up with a pin in it or something.
Yeah.
I think about some of those things that are really neat. It's that somebody thought of me, and like the Mickey years back there, somebody was in Disney World and they said, well, I know Brother Bill likes Star Wars and R2-D2. So they brought him back and gave him to me. So
neat.
Lots of things like that.
Let's see. Check in over on our Facebook side. Okay. Yeah. Kind of going back to Hot Wheels, Ricardo asked, is there a favorite Hot Wheel that you had growing up, or that, maybe it was your go-to one you always played with, or maybe that has a memory tied to it?
Yeah. Of course, my dad being a Matchbox, there was a series of Matchbox cars that were called Super Kings.
Okay.
And they were bigger, but I will never forget, because my dad had these Super Kings car carriers, and the regular Hot Wheels and Matchbox would fit on it. And I remember that, and I still have those. There again, they're at my mom's house. But I remember playing with that. My favorite current Hot Wheel is the Bone Shaker. Okay. That's the and it's just a chopped up. It's a rat rod looking thing, and it's my favorite model right now. I love when they do crossovers with Hot Wheels. Those are the things that I will look for. But growing up, the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox that I always wanted were the ones that my dad had in the little boxes. Mm-hmm. And I've got a few of those. My sister and I split those up. My dad passed away in 2008. In 2005, Matchbox re-released that super fast line. Oh. And I think there were 26 cars each one of those years. And he and I would hunt for those. And so I think they did them for 3 or 4 years. And I think I've got all of those just because he and I would look for those. And I mentioned the crossover. And this is what made me tell you. I was thinking about Jay. Like, this is one of I love that Hot Wheels car.
Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully Jay will go back and watch this.
Yeah. And then, of course, they did Star Wars. They've done Star Trek, Enterprise, Batman. Here, and this one is really for Jay. This is another one that is really, it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it looks like Scooby Snacks, and you hear it?
Yeah.
Something, but it's got do I have the glare right?
No, it's good. Looks good.
Okay. But man, this sits in my office at the church, but here's one for you. That's
yes. Ricardo will appreciate that as well.
Yeah. And then there's one for Jim.
Yeah, the Joker. Sweet.
But so Hot Wheels is one of those things that, I still, in fact, when I was in Walmart yesterday, I was looking through Hot Wheels to see if there were any treasure hunts, to see if there were any new models. I like motorcycles and any of these that, cross over with something else from my childhood.
So that being said, and I realize right now going to Walmart's very most of the time miss. But let's say when the shelves are stocked and you're going, Leanne sent you to the store for some milk and bread, and of course you just naturally head towards the toy area
every time.
So, and you're in the toy aisles. Where are you stopping? What are you looking at as you're making your way through the toy aisles?
I've gotten to where I've seen like RJ putting those helmets together on Legos.
Yeah.
And so I'll stop and look at those. I've never bought one. They've got a Darth Vader meditation chamber.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
It looks really cool. And something like that I could display.
Yeah.
I might try that. But the other ones, you get into the big ships, and I love the way they look, but I just don't think I've got I don't know. I don't want to use the word patience, but I just don't. But I'm always going to stop, and I'm going to look at Batman figures.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to look at, the Marvel figures since they've come out.
Yeah.
Of course, Star Wars, and always Hot Wheels. Yeah. And at my Walmart now, they're back to back on the same aisle. So I can hit Batman, superheroes. Spider-Man has become a favorite because that's Clay's favorite.
Okay.
Clay worked at a movie theater for several years, and he got me a couple of really cool the official movie posters. One of them's Rogue One.
Oh, that's a hookup right there.
Then he got the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales.
Yeah,
that's a really cool poster. If I'm going to toys, of course they moved collectibles in our Walmart over by the electronics, and so you got to go over there to find the DC comic figures, and every once in a while you find them on clearance.
Yeah.
That's where I found that Ahsoka and Darth Maul and Off-World Jawa. Yeah. They put them on the clearance. They never put them in the thing, and they were $1 a piece. I think I bought every figure. Yeah. Of course, I can't get the stickers off there now, so I'm hoping.
Oh well, yeah. It's the price you pay for getting it for $1.
That's right. So yeah, I usually do that, and I don't get to Jackson to Target much, but if I go to Target, I'm gonna hit there. So yeah. If I go in any store, I'm usually going to check the toys to make sure.
Oh yeah, I just make sure everything's displayed properly. Yeah, but obviously we know right now there's huge gaps when you go into stores. I mean, poor Lando, he continues to hang at all the Walmarts.
And that's all that. Now they did put out an archive case at our Walmart a couple of weeks ago, and I got the Revan, and I got a 501st Trooper. I had the other ones, but I did not have either one of those. So I wanted both of those. So I sat here and said I don't collect Black Series, but I got both of those.
I'm just getting the first 12 Black Series. Revan, he's an expanded universe, but I'm gonna figure that out. And that guy.
That's GameStop's fault, because there for a while GameStop was the only place in Books A Million I could find a Star Wars figure. It was awful.
Yeah, I hear you. Our GameStop was the place to go for a while. Now it's a drought as well. So, So you brought up, as you're going down that toy aisle, you always look at the Batman stuff. So I remember, back when I was a teenager and hanging out with you a lot, and then even while I was in college, you had tons. I would say you probably had more Batman stuff in your office than you did Star Wars. So
yeah.
So if you think about that, what really got you into pursuing after Batman and collecting Batman stuff?
The movies.
Okay. 1989, Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. And, Clay and I just went and saw the new one, and we came back and talked, and I told him the reason 89 Batman is so special to me is because, Jack Nicholson was already a superstar.
Yeah.
And think about some of the roles he played. You just knew it was going to be awesome. And he and I talked, and I hope this new trilogy, I hope they don't do Joker. I think it's too soon, but that's just me. Yeah. I'm a Batman guy. Most people hated Batman versus Superman. I love it because you saw the truth that Batman could beat Superman. I mean, that's just, and I'm saying that for
we all know the Superman was showing restraint. He was a compassion. He could have easily just boom, you're done.
Who would root for an alien? That's what. No, I'm just kidding. But my favorite line in that movie is when he says, "Save Martha," and I'd never in all my comic books,
I didn't either.
Their names being the same. I thought, okay. And Affleck played an older Batman, so he was okay.
Yeah. You're probably thinking, I could be Batman. If Affleck's Batman, I could be Batman.
Yeah. And because, and I go back to Hot Wheels, I remember they did a 1/18 scale of that Batmobile. Hot Wheels did.
Okay.
And so, of course, it's hard to beat the TV series Batmobile.
There's none to compare.
Yeah.
I'm getting mine right now as you said that.
There you go.
I love this thing.
Oh, it's awesome. Look at your Razor Crest. That's awesome.
No, it's coming along. I've got some more things I want to do with it.
Yeah. That is so awesome.
Those figures.
Yeah.
This is the ones that came out with Mattel. They're not, this is Dusty, that McFarlane did recently. But I love this thing. So
yeah. Oh, that's just great. And so, when those movies came out, I guess that really kind of opened up that for me. The other thing was my dad's going to carport sales, garage sales every Saturday. And the two things I could guarantee you every week he would bring me something Batman and something Star Wars. It didn't matter. And now it would be a Star Wars X-Wing with only 2 wings on it. But hey, you could put a match to that, and I could put cotton. I had them hanging from the ceiling of my house like they were fighting and they'd shot each other and smoke was coming off. It was awesome. It was awesome.
You were building the dioramas back in the day, man.
I was.
The battles are playing out in the skies above your bedroom.
So yeah, Batman was. I guess it's just kind of always been there. Yeah. I had a Mego Batman, and so he's always been my favorite.
Yes.
DC superhero.
Yes, yeah. So, I think I remember you had that one Batman. It was like number 500 or something like that. It was like in a plastic case.
And he was metallic.
Yeah, it was metallic. Yeah. I remember that sitting in your office. That was such a cool figure.
I like those because they did one of Vader that was a 500 figure.
Yeah, he was like in his chamber. Yeah,
it was in the Yeah, I've got both of those. And so I've got a couple of one of my favorite Batman statues I actually got from a Hallmark.
Okay.
And it's the old school Batman and Robin, and they're busting through something. It's just a really cool piece. Speaking of Hallmark, this past year they put out an at tape dispenser.
What?
Yes, and it's fallen in the snow, and the tape comes out of his back. And I can't find one anywhere that's not an arm. And I went to. We don't have a Hallmark here in Jacksonville. There was one in Memphis. Yeah, we don't have any more. And of course, I got onto it late because I went after you told me about your ornament. Yeah. I went to Hallmark and bought my ornament, and I saw it. Of course, you couldn't order it because
the Book of Boba Fett ornament you were got.
Yeah. That at tape dispenser would be prominently displayed on my desk at church.
No doubt.
Oh, it's so cool. It's silver. And it's awesome. Yeah.
So as you've talked about, so we've got Hot Wheels, we've got Star Wars, Batman, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Would you say Star Wars has probably got the most? That's where your most focus is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you, how much of that actually gets displayed?
Not much.
Not much. Okay.
I did this just for tonight. I've got 3 bookshelves in our TV room that have got, and I took the wooden shelves out and put glass shelves so that the light would benefit. I've got an R2KT, the pink astromech.
Okay.
I've got, I don't have the jumbo R2 anymore. I had the jumbo R2 at one point and gave that away. I wish that's That's one I wish I'd not given away because it's now a $350
Wow.
figure.
So Jumbo R2, now help me out. What are you talking about with that?
Kenner made it was, of course, it wasn't 12 inches, but it was 12-inch scale.
Okay.
But it was vintage style.
Oh.
And I think they've made a Boba Fett. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, you're talking vintage, like original.
Yeah, it's called Jumbo R2. And Kenner made it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I was thinking you're talking about something else. Yeah.
I think Gentle Giant made it because it's carded and packaged just like the vintage figure.
Yes,
I got mine off of eBay for less than 3 figures, and then somebody and I just, I gave it to them as a gift, and that's one of those I wish, gosh, I should have rethought that.
Yeah.
The likelihood of me ever finding another one at that good of a deal, probably not going to happen. But anyway.
Similar story. I had a Superman, Superpowers like that. The Gentle Giants did, vintage card, that's big scale. Oh, yeah. Got a great deal on it, and then passed it along somewhere else. And I'm like, why did I do that? So.
Well, I know you love Superman stuff, so that's why, like that day I was in GameStop and I saw that Superman Doomsday.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it, and I thought Lucas would love this, but you already had it. Yeah, so I thought
you said it right up there.
Hey, and that's one of the things I love about the Cantina, because everybody seems like, they're looking out for one another. And the Toys for Tots thing, you mentioned that earlier. That I got that from Jim, because the first sale I came to, Jim did the mystery boxes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I didn't know what to do, and I've regretted not buying that, because I don't remember what figure it was, but there was one that I was wanting, and it was in one of those mystery boxes, and I didn't do it. And I thought, if something else comes up, I'm just going to figure out a way to do it. And I'm buying. I'm tired of missing things like that.
But anyway. Yeah. And Jim has always had some awesome. Oh, a lot of guys have. That's one.
Jay did the 3D print of those the Trooper, the match.
Yeah, that's right. You got those
exclusives, and it's just been neat to meet and to get to talk to RJ and find out he loves R2 and Astromechs. So it's neat to be a part of the group.
Started talking about Jay, and he showed up. What's up, Jay? So,
do I need to show him my Scooby Snack?
Yeah, show him the Scooby stuff again there. He'll get a kick out of that. There it is. So what was the story? That's an exclusive, a San Diego Comic-Con?
It was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and a friend of mine was out there and asked me if I wanted it. Yeah. I said, absolutely. And so he picked it up for me, and I just paid him back. And then there's another little, I know Jay likes Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah, he loves that. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Jordan, he says he's got a Jumbo R5 if you need it. LOL. So, yeah. Oh, wow.
The kid. Now I've got the 12-inch R2 sail barge and the R5D4, because those were the curtain tiebacks for Clay's room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And anything R2D2, I'm loving, and I.
Well, I saw where you sent the mystery box to RJ and had some R2 love in it.
Well, it was, and when I heard that, I said, okay, I know what I can put in there, because I've got 2 gallon Ziploc bags that are full of astromech droids.
Wow. Okay.
Just, like the R2B one, the red one that came with the Naboo.
Oh, that was a cool one.
Yeah. And I saw that in the box today, and I thought, I don't have anywhere to put it, or else I'd bring it over here. So
that's a big one. That's probably as big as the Razor Crest, I bet.
Yeah, it is a big ship.
Because the Razor Crest is 20 by 30. And I bet that Naboo is very close.
It's probably 3 feet long. It's probably not 20. It may be close to 20 inches wide, but it's really long. And of course, the front nose comes off, and then all those panels come off.
Right.
It's crazy.
If they were to do that nowadays, they would probably do a HasLab or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that from Matt.
I was wondering if you got Matt's, because I remember he had his, again, one of his dioramas in his kitchen.
Yeah. He had
a Starship.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I got that one from him.
Nice. Oh, man. Oh, well, let's see. So So only a few things are out. And I did notice around because I guess you're part of the group around Christmas, obviously. And notice that you have the tradition of putting out, is it multiple Star Wars trees and multiple superhero trees?
I did. I've had two before. I had a light side and a dark side.
Okay.
But last year, I bought a rotating tree stand.
Okay.
And so I put them all on one, and you can see all the way around the tree because I've got a Slave One, an X-Wing, a TIE Fighter, a Vader TIE Fighter. They're all stuffed in the tree, and the Vader helmet's on the top.
Yeah.
I used to put a lightsaber through it until I gave that away. And then I've got the AT-AT, a Millennium Falcon, the Imperial, all that's around the bottom. But since I'm able to rotate it, but it is stuffed full because that's another thing. I've always collected Star Wars ornaments.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say I've gotten them all. There's a few that I'm missing. There's a few that over the years, the mechanics have quit working, and you put a new battery and it just doesn't work right. But
I've got a couple of Vaders like that where they don't talk anymore, even with new batteries.
Yeah. But they still look cool on that tree.
Yeah.
And we put up, I think we just put up 8 trees this year, but we
just put up 8 trees this year, guys.
Well, one year we were part of the Medina tour of Christmas homes, and we had 11 up, and we had everybody vote on what was their favorite tree. And Star Wars usually gives everybody else a run for its money.
That's right, dude.
It's so unique because you just don't see very many black Christmas trees, and all the lights quit working. So I put all those LED sparkling lights, and so it looks like stars.
Oh.
I mean, I would leave it up all year long if Liam would let me. Yeah.
Oh, well, one can dream, I guess. One can dream.
Maybe one day I'll have a room that will be Star Wars all year long.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, guys, if you need any help for the holidays for decorating trees, you can contact Bill. He usually does 8, may do 11 trees.
Yeah, Leanne's already said she's hiring me out. We're not putting up but one this year. She's hiring me out because people pay an arm and a leg to have people do that. And it's crazy. But anyway, I like doing that too. I guess I'm over the top with a lot of things.
Hey, as long as you're having fun doing it, that's for sure. So,
yeah.
Oh man, well, Brian, I think, man, this has been fun. Just kind of getting a peek into your collecting mind and some of your different things here. Let's see if we got some stuff over here. Jay says, "I love all that is Scooby." He goes, "I love the Naboo ship. I need the droid fighter that goes with it." Oh, there you go. So
the droid fighter.
Yeah, I guess.
Are those the little blue ones?
I don't know. Is that the ones? Because when I think droid fighter, I think those little brown ones that were. I'm trying to describe them.
Oh yeah, the big. Now we never found that one because there's a huge one.
Okay.
That you could put like 40 battle droids. Now we've got. Is it called the battle tank? The hover battle tank?
Yeah, where it was like on the ground deal, and they would.
It looked like a shoehorn almost, and had one. Yeah, Clay's. In fact, we saw it in the box today. Again, all that stuff with Clone Wars and Rebels. Man, of course, my kids wanting it, so we went over the top.
Yeah. And do you feel like because obviously he was interested in it, and you were already collecting it, that you went a little extra over the top? I feel like I did that.
Yeah, that's why there's certain boxes. In fact, he saw one of them today. He goes, "Wait, all these are still in the cards." I said, "Yeah, I never told you I had these. They're still in like that first day of issue." He said, "What? How are these?" I said, "These were mine. I wasn't going to open them.
These are mine." So that being said, would you say?
I told him, I said, "You're going to get all these one day," and he just kind of rolled his eyes. So I'm probably going to have to sell all this before I die because none of my family wants to do anything with this stuff. Or Leanne will have a carport sale. I have to tell her to tell you,
yes,
so you can clear it all out.
I have to come home and just be like, "Hey, whoa, don't be careful now, Leanne. This is worth more than $1."
Yeah.
So for the most part of your collection, would you say you still have a lot of stuff in the package? So in that regard,
not a lot.
Yeah.
But when the movies came out, of course, there were figures everywhere.
Sure.
I was looking through a box, and the Revenge of the Sith box, and I was looking through this box when I got RJ those R2s. I'd forgotten there was, two R2s in that line, and I had 2 of each one. There's a Palpatine in that red robe, and one of them has a blue saber, one of them has a red saber.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I was thinking about all those variants, and it reminded me, and I don't remember if we were doing this with you, but that figure that's got the Batman, let me get that. Let me show you.
Yeah, go ahead.
This was a cool thing too, that somebody brought this to me. It's a Stormtrooper helmet.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'd never seen it before. It's just PVC vinyl. But anyway, it's just real cool. This series right here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the Mr. Freeze?
Yes.
There was the variant, because one of them, he has the goggles on, and the other one, it's just angry face. And so, yeah.
I had the goggles one. I never found the angry face one.
Yeah. When I was going through and saw that box, I've got both of those. So yeah, I always like to try to find the variants. If there was like the bloody stump Luke.
Oh yeah, I remember that
one. And so, when those movies came out and those waves, after those celebrations, and I've got a lot of those that are still carded. But if we were trying to recreate a scene, yeah, Clay, can we open this one? Sure.
We need another droid here.
Can you ever have too many clone troopers or too many stormtroopers?
No.
Oh. I tell you what I'm looking for now. I like the Rebel 4-packs. I wish I'd gotten those Rebel Trooper 4-packs.
Oh yeah.
Because especially if I'm gonna do that Tantive 4,
you need that.
Because I bought one from the guy that was doing the comic sale.
Monty.
Yeah. I bought one from him, and I've got several Rebel Troopers, but I thought, man, if I could get that set of 4, that would be, because that scene in Rogue One, at the end of Rogue One, that's my favorite scene in that whole movie.
Yeah, those are cool. And
yeah,
I only had one, and then Steve was selling off some stuff, and I got like 4 or 5 from him in one lot.
Rebel Troopers.
Yeah,
cool.
So I've got them over on my shelf. I've got the haul, and it's like from A New Hope, where they're Stormtroopers and Vader are coming through.
Yeah, that's what I want to do too.
Yeah.
Can you put those hauls together?
You can, yeah. You can put multiples together.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting on, because you can probably see over here, I've got that Navarro Cantina. I'm waiting for those to be on clearance so I can add to that.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it's a little pricey though, honestly. I probably, for what it is, I mean, it's cool. The accessories are nice. But I wish the price point was a little lower, and that's why I'll definitely wait till it gets. Yeah,
I'd like to do that hallway, and then I'd like to do the purchasing of R2 and C3PO with the Sandcrawler. The Sandcrawler, the Entertainment Earth exclusive, came out when we were in Louisville, and I bought 2 of them, and I've ended up selling both of them because I got a fortune on them, and now you can't find a Sandcrawler or anything. So I thought, I'm just going to make me a cutout and make it to actual scale. I'm going to make it humongous.
Yeah, the only Sandcrawler I know you could get is through Disney.
Yeah, and that's what
the $120, I think.
Yeah, the Entertainment Earth exclusive was painted a little bit differently, but it was that same size, same package.
Yeah,
and it was a cool piece. But I bought it at a comic book store in Louisville, and like I said, I bought 2 of them because I think when they came out, they were $69.
Oh,
and I thought, yeah, I'm going to keep one in a package and I'm going to open the other one. Ended up selling them both because, I mean, they were going for, double that money as soon as you could. Well, that's the same way with these things.
Yeah, when you first got them. Yeah.
When you're standing in line and you find somebody that doesn't really care about the figure, you'd say, well, would you buy it and I'll pay you the $20 for it? Then people were selling them on eBay that day for $100. So
yeah, I remember, when you guys came home with them and you're showing them to me, and they were crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Lots of good.
Jay says the droid fighter came with the ship. And it shoots a laser and causes battle damage. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a remote control. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you hold it. You're right. Because when you do it, it pops the panels off. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that now.
Let's see. Reese says they have the AT-AT tape dispenser on eBay for $35. He goes, I may have to get one for my desk. So.
Oh man, I need to get over there on eBay and look.
Yes.
Since I've been in the cantina, I don't do much on eBay anymore.
You know, honestly, I don't. I used to be a big time eBayer, but the cantina, you can find stuff, cheaper, and you know who it's coming from. And,
Sure.
And they're going to make sure it's packaged well and everything. Just buying it. It's like buying it from family. Wow.
Yeah.
The great thing about the cantina. It's
absolutely
turned into a great community, that's for sure. So, well, very well. Well, man, anything else you'd like to share with us? I'll kind of throw it to you. Any other last comments or anything like that before we wrap it up for the night? I've been going at it about an hour. So
keep collecting, keep hunting.
Keep the hunt alive.
Man, you'll find it. And if somebody else comes along that needs it, pass it along. It'll come back to you. It always has with me. Well, except for those 2 cases I've shared with you. I'm still looking for a jumbo R2.
That hasn't come back yet.
Well, I keep waiting for the people because they're just recent. They go to church with me, and I've given their kids those lightsabers. I keep waiting to go to a garage sale and find it, but they haven't come up yet. But yeah, I appreciate you letting me be a part of the group, and I have been blessed by being a part, and like I said, doing the Toys for Tots. And when David and I were bidding on that, and he said something about his son, I thought that kid's fixing to get every double out, and that's what I did. I sent him all the doubles.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Just because I would want somebody to do that for Clay, when he was little. And so you just pass that along, because man, it's a great group, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, we're glad to have you, brother. It has been neat. Like you said, Toys for Tots, something we've done the last 2 years. And even before that, we would do some other things at Christmas. And of course, with Zohan's family, how the group kind of stepped up for that. It's been neat to see just the concern and compassion of the group. So, well, very well. Absolutely. Let me see if there's any last questions over here. It looks like we've got a good group watching, and hopefully they've all enjoyed getting a peek into your collector's mind. So. Well, very well. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. For those over on Facebook, thanks for joining us. We will see you guys soon. Bill and I will stick around here a moment just to catch up on some stuff. So, peace out, Cantina.
Thanks, guys.